Good morning, everyone. I welcome all of you to today's session. As I told you in our last three discussions, that this is a series where I am sharing my understanding through kind of informal, kind of information sharing or opinion sharing. What I have understood PSR as an optional. So this is just an effort to systematically prepare a series where if somebody is looking for like suppose somebody is preparing for the first time and he wants to have a feel of the optional, or somebody has already finished the optional and just he wants to give a revision to this optional, then this series will be very helpful to him or her. Now we have started discussing paper 2, international relations, and in that the first unit is Indian foreign policy. Now in the last three class, what we have discussed, what do you mean by foreign policy? Then specific to Indian foreign policy, we have moved. That is, we have seen what are the broader objectives of Indian foreign policy, how this foreign policy is guiding India's interest, national interest in various dimensions that we have seen. See, basically, if I tell you the importance of foreign policy, you can understand. See, currently we are living in a very globalized world, okay? Every country is depending on other countries. It's a kind of complex interdependence, or we cannot say that our economy, like those in 1985, the Hindu growth era, that we have followed a very closed economic path. No, now our economy after 1991, after the LPG reforms, it is completely integrated to the global economy. Now, if there are some changes, some volatility in the global forum or globalized world, then that repercussion also will come to India, right? Okay. So in that case, if our foreign policy is not robust, how do you deal with all these countries? Because finally the country is to interact with another country. So when the interest of any country is endangered, then only this foreign policy will be activated, right? Okay. So before that, we should prepare ourselves. We should have a proactive engagement. We should have a proactive policy, okay, so that we can tackle all this kind of unforeseen events, right? So this you can understand what is the importance of foreign policy. Now today we'll see what are the challenges in Indian foreign policy. Okay, specific to we are talking about Indian foreign policy. Now the first challenge is regional security challenges. See, India is surrounded by many hostile neighbors, right? Especially Pakistan. What Pakistan does? The state-sponsored terrorism, okay, across the Jammu Kashmir border. So these has what? These are drained lot of our military, you can say economic, diplomatic energy over the years, okay? From the day of partition, from 1947 to till date, you see this cross-border terrorism by this Pakistan has how much affected our entire nation's interest. So don't you think that we should have a foreign policy to tackle all this? See, beyond military, see, military is not the solution, okay? We have to also bring Pakistan to the table. We have to talk to them, okay? Right? So this is one of the bigger challenge India is facing in terms of regional security challenges. The other challenges in this regional security challenges are like territorial disputes. You see, we are having disputes with China, right? We are having disputes with Nepal, right? For this, let us say Kalapan area. In China, you have seen how in LAC we are fighting. In Pakistan also, we are fighting over the LOC. For what? For these territorial disputes. Now, many scholar will give their opinion about all these things. So here and there, I will just tell you one scholar. You need not to remember all of them. Okay, if you have the understanding, then you can simply write in the journal also. No need to mug up all the scholar. Don't go mad about the scholars. Anyhow, Hars B. Hars B. Pant, you may be knowing he's from Observer Research Foundation. Now he emphasizes how a robust diplomatic efforts is required to address the challenges. As I told you, see, only military or through defense we cannot win over Pakistan or China. We need to have these dialogues. Okay, we need to have this cooperation somewhere. Okay, we need to talk to them, right? So this is what foreign policy does, and this is what the challenges ahead. Now, second is the rising power dynamics with China. See, this is very sure China is rising. Okay, there is no denial of the fact that China is rising, is going to rise. Okay, so there will be definitely friction. Okay, in Asia between India and China. That's what is happening in global forum also, right? USA is countering the what do you call the rise of China. Okay, it doesn't want to lose its hegemonic status. Correct. Now we have to balance our relationship with China, and we have to safeguard our national interest. It is not that, see, we cannot fight on each and every front with China. That is practically impossible. You see, what is the trade, that robustness of trade between this country? Okay, we are having a trade deficit of the order of $85 billion, close to 100 billion. Now, see, all of the things are very integrated, very interdependent. Okay, so somewhere if we threaten China, China will also threaten us. So this is not good for our national interest, right? So this is a challenge. So in this context, C. Rajamohan, he is also one of the foreign policy expert. He discusses that what are the implications of a rise of China and how we should have a policy that will encompass constructive dialogue. Again, see, dialogue is the only solution. Okay, if you come to the global forum with a realistic approach, this liberal approach of constructive dialogue also required. See, example I will give you. Recently, we have classes with China in Doklam in 2017, and we have classes also in Galwan Valley. Soldiers, they have class, like they fought with each other, right? Okay, there are so many deaths happened. Okay, from Indian side and very less casualty from the Chinese side in 2020. So this, because of this rise, okay, see, China wants to be a superpower for sure. Okay, at least in Asia. Okay, so there will be a lot of friction between India and China for sure. So we need to have a policy that will have constructive dialogue. See, currently I told you also in one of the class that we have now, after some 4 to 5 years, into 2020, this Doklam, this Golan Valley classes happened, right? Now after 4 years, because of this sustained and continued dialogues, now we are having one disengagement, right? Correct or not? So this is what foreign policy challenges, and this is how foreign policy also giving the solution. Then combating terrorism and extremism. See, I told you Pakistan. Okay, role of Pakistan in what do you call propagating this state-sponsored terrorism. You may be knowing this 2008 Mumbai attack, or 26/11 attack. So this is what, okay. This is not only this international terrorism we have to fight it domestically also. See, you see our country. If you see the northeast is close to golden triangle, that is Myanmar, Thailand, and your what you called those regions, the opium productions are high. So it is standards between this golden triangle and in the northwest. Okay, like those Kashmir region, Punjab region. Okay, this is sandwich between golden crescent, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran, right? So because of this, like this position, this geographical position, we are facing a lot of issue like nationalism, extremism, secessionism. Okay, why? Because these groups of people, they are getting a lot of assistance from our neighboring countries. You know how recently we have done one operation with the help of Myanmar government. Okay, Operation Sunshine, to wipe out this terrorist camp. Okay, in the northeast with the help of Bangladesh. How you are dealing with the insurgent groups. Okay, so if we have good relationship with our neighbor, then only we can tackle all this kind of problem, because they will share the information, right? Okay, this coordination and intelligence sharing is a must to deal with terrorism and extremism. So this is also one of the challenge. See, I am telling both challenges and solution also side by side, so it's not like think why I am telling both way. See, this is connected. You should also know the other part of the problem, that is solution. Then Sasi Tharoor also, he underscores that how this international cooperation can play a major role, okay, in dealing with this terrorism and extremism. See, already India has proposed long back in 1996 one international convention for combating this terrorism in United Nations. Okay, this has not been approved because there is no unanimity in the definition of terrorism, right? But India should pursue it. continuously, okay, sustained way. As I told you, we are facing a lot of insurgency and violence in our Jammu Kashmir, in our Punjab, okay. Currently this Khalistan movement. Now this has been also, yeah, like what? It's a kind of tension for India, right? Okay. And same in the northeast regions and in other parts of the internal security also. See, you see this Naxalism. This start from Tirupati to they call Pasupati, okay. Pasupatinath temple in Nepal. So all the way this red corridor, okay. This is the biggest threat. Now we should have a foreign policy, a robust foreign policy, so that these insurgent groups they do not get air from outside, okay, our neighboring countries. Are you understanding? Next. The next challenge is economic interest and trade challenges. See, currently what is happening in the world, okay, in the globalized world. Trade barriers, protectionism, global economic uncertainty. See, Russia-Ukraine war is happening, isn't it? Then there will be lot of uh, issues that India is facing. For example, to avail the fertilizers, see, majority of the fertilizers we are importing from Russia, from Ukraine. So many like things, let us say petroleum, this crude oil, natural oils. See, these are very volatile commodity, okay? So suppose war happens, then what will happen? Their price may rise, may down, okay? So this will affect our economic interest. Trade barrier, how uh, other countries, okay, they are putting a lot of sanitary, phytosanitary barriers for Indian export product. For example, you may be knowing UK. Few years back, they have put just because of some quality issue for our Alfonso mango. So our farmers they will not get the required price. But on the other hand, you see how they are dumping their products in our country, right? So this foreign policy will help to bridge this problem. So this is one of the problem. Raghuram Rajan. Okay, see, whenever you are dealing with the economic thing now, you have to quote Raghuram Rajan or Arvind Panagaria like that. Okay, because these are economics. Okay, and they will link this economic aspect to foreign policy. So he stresses that we should engage, okay, with other countries, okay, and we should analyze what are the impacts. Suppose USA, USA is having one kind of regime which is called generalized system of preference. Now it has removed India from that, okay. So our export to USA will little bit get hampered. So we need to pursue USA, okay, that they should give all this kind of special but differential treatment, okay, right? US also they have increased the tariff for aluminum and steel product, whatever exports we are doing, okay. So many things, these import restrictions on certain product that we are doing to European countries, that is a bigger challenge, okay, for our economic interest. Then non-traditional security threat. See, whatever I told, traditional security threat means what? Border disputes, uh, internal security, extremism, terrorism. These are traditional challenges. What are non-traditional security threats? Climate change, okay, cyber security, pandemic. See, climate change is what? This is a global phenomena. We cannot simply say that India is going to wipe out all this problem of global warming or climate change. We have to collaborate. That's why we're collaborating, okay, in the platform of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. In different forum, we are tackling, okay, we are having partnership. For that reason only, we have formed international solar alliances. We have formed CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilience. Then we have recently aligned with UAE and all to have global biofuel alliances. So this is what? This is foreign policy. Okay, we are collaborating, we are cooperating with the like-minded countries to tackle with climate change. Cyber security, same way, India is dealing with all these developed countries and try to adopt best practices, okay, through like by partnering with Israel, to USA, to all the European norms, okay. For example, Budapest Convention. So all these things India is participating, okay, to deal this kind of challenges, right? Shiv Shankar Menon, in this context, he emphasizes that how a global collaboration on this kind of issue, see pandemic, how India has given this paracetamol to the entire country and saved millions of life. Okay, it has sent many vaccine to those least developed countries through Operation Maitri. Okay, Vaccine Maitri program, right? So these are what? These are global engagement. This is foreign policy, and these are also challenges we are negotiating with. Then we'll come to specific country. See our relationship with the USA. Okay, so there was a time we have kept ourselves away from USA, but after the disintegration of USSR. We have started moving close to USA. Now we are like all-time high. Okay, the relationship between USA and India is all-time high. PM Modi says that this is the era of AI. Like we say, na, this is the era of artificial intelligence. This is the era of America and India. Okay, Bajpayee tells that USA and India are natural ally. So this close collaboration, okay, in defense, in many other sector, in cutting edge technology, critical technology, okay, we are collaborating in space, in nuclear, right? We have done the India US civil nuclear deal for what? Because now our interest has changed because Russia is no longer going to be that effective what it was during this Cold War, right? So we need technology, okay, we need money, okay, we need investment, so we have to go to USA, right? Okay, but here we should also look, or we should also balance our strategic autonomy. It's not that we are now like a puppet of USA and US will dictate our foreign policy. No, because despite US's sanction on Iran, on Russia, we are dealing with Russia. We are purchasing the oil, right? Russian oil. We are also okay. We have reduced the what do you call this import of oil from Iran, but we are dealing with Iran, right? Okay. Recently, also you have seen how Iran and India they are dealing. Their president, and there was a meeting between the president and the prime minister of India, right? And how the Iranian president, okay, he himself has acknowledged that the standing, the global standing of India has increased over the years, right? So again with China also, you see China. I told you China's rise is not what you call accepted kind of by US. Okay, he's not welcoming. But despite that, we are negotiating with China. Okay, so these are challenges. Then China specific. See, China will will study all this thing in very detail when we'll go to the neighboring countries. Okay, in South Asia. But just I am briefly touching them. China's aggressiveness. See, we are continuously kind of like uh, 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 at fight with China for this border dispute because this is not solved till date. Okay, that's why we are having all this problem. Okay, so what? Instead of military, we have to negotiate them only. That's the only solution. Then Russia-Ukraine war, as I told you, okay, despite the criticism from West, okay, we have not changed our stance, okay. We are firm that okay, we will not take any side, okay. We will have our neutral stance, okay. But we have to also expand the tie with Russia because Russia is a all-weather friend. Now, because we have to have our continued partnership in defense, in nuclear, in energy with Russia. Then regional tensions. See, this Indian Ocean region, okay. Traditionally, India is the leader, okay. But now, if you see in the recent time, Chinese ships, naval ships, in the name of research, it has been found near the coast of Sri Lanka, Maldives. Why? Because this government in Sri Lanka and Maldives, they are becoming pro-Chinese, right? So this is creating a threat to Indian hegemony or dominance, okay. That's why we are aligning with uh, Japan, Australia, USA to form Quad, okay, so that we can counter the assertive characteristics of China. You know how China is dealing in South China Sea. It is literally bullying, okay. Neither it is respecting any kind of international verdict. It is simply telling, you may be knowing the 9 days line, okay. How it is treating with Vietnam and Philippines, okay. The entire South China Sea through the marking of some imaginary nine dash line, it is telling everything belongs to me. Because in the upcoming years, the sea is going to be the area where resources is going to come. So everybody is fighting for the seabed, okay, right? Because there are minerals, there are natural gas. So India is going to have friction definitely in this region, okay. Then a lot of piracy also happens, okay, especially in that Arabian Sea, in the Eastern Africa, and those what do you call Horn of Africa region in the Gulf of Aden and all. So a lot of piracy happens. Okay, so we have to safeguard our seas, right? Then Middle East dynamics. You know the importance of Middle East for India. Okay, our 85% of the energy security are made from import. Okay, oil, natural gas, and the bulk of them comes from this Middle East only. And how volatile is Middle East, okay. Currently, you see what is happening. Israel is fighting with Palestine, okay. I mean, kind of they're fighting with all this Hezbollah, this Hamas. Now it is at war with Iran. So that area has been constantly in news, and it will be also because that area is volatile because of the Shia and Sunni conflict. Okay, now India has to balance. Okay, because there is strong diaspora in that Middle East region. Okay, in the West Asia. So now we have to balance our strategic interest. That's why we are going closer with UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Okay, despite see Pakistan, despite trying everything, but we are it is not able to stop us. Okay, day by day we are going closer to UAE. Okay, even we are also now close to what? So close to Israel, and India is also helping to play a major role in bridging the gap between this Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. See, currently I told you, Iranian president, he has emphasized, okay, India can propose any kind of peace deal so that this war should not escalate between Israel and Iran. So, like that, as I told you, despite this CATSA Act, okay, we are trading with Iran, okay, we are trading with Russia. So these are the challenges. So if I just summarize you what I told you in today's class, so we have seen what are the regional, like what are the challenges in Indian foreign policy. I started with saying regional security challenges. Then I have talked about regional power dynamics with China, then combating terrorism and extremism, then how to safeguard our economic interest and trade challenges, then non-traditional security threats like cyber security, pandemic, or let us say any kind of climate change, then the relations of between USA and India, how to balance our strategic autonomy in every with every country is okay. It's not with USA, with every country. You should have a independent foreign policy. Then what is the impact of China's aggressiveness, Russia-Ukraine war, regional tensions, Middle East? See, you can note anything, okay. Even you can also tell a specific one point that our neighboring in South Asia, the SAARC countries, okay, how we are facing challenges. Right. So all these are the challenges in our foreign policy. We have to navigate these issues. Okay, this foreign policy has to navigate, and we have to manage the global contradiction. I told you in the last class, Jaishankar defines, okay, there will be contradiction in our foreign policy. In one hand, we are going close to USA. In other hand, we are dealing with Russia. In one hand, we are member of Quad. In one hand, we are member of SCO. So there will be global contradiction, but we have to advance our interest in a multipolar world. Okay, see, India has been a firm believer of multipolar world. Okay, multipolar world, rule based order. This is what India strives from the beginning. Okay, so I hope in this class i I tried my best to convey what are the challenges of Indian foreign policy. Next class we will talk about some different aspects. So thank you for listening.